What's up, guys? So in an interview with Empire Magazine, Kathleen Kennedy has said that the sequels are not over yet. Are we angry? Are we sad? Are we happy? Are we mad? Let's get right into all of it. So, of course, 'tis the season. We got Yoda over there. He's all festive and dressed up, and we got Darth Vader lit up over here because he's dead. Both of them are dead, technically. But the sequels are not over yet. Kathleen Kennedy has confirmed it. These sequel characters have more story to be told. What do we think? Just first impressions in the comments right now. What do we think? Are we happy about this? Are we sad about this? I mean, there are some characters that I actually do like in the sequels. Sadly, my favorite one died. Ben Solo. If you didn't catch that, it was Ben Solo. He was my favorite character throughout the sequels. A lot of people's favorite character throughout the sequels. Kylo Ren to Ben Solo, the redemption story, almost like Anakin Skywalker. But then he dies in Rise of Skywalker, much like Anakin does in Return of the Jedi. He dies. And Adam Driver is the one and only actor who said, yeah, I'd love to come back to Star Wars. Star Wars is cool. Star Wars is the best. I'd love to come back. He's the only actor right now from the sequels who has said that. He said, I'd love to come back literally just the other day. And he's the only one who's dead. So some weird stuff going on right now at Disney. If maybe these actors don't want to say anything because they're finishing up deals or they don't want to spoil anything. But Adam Driver's like, hey, I'll come back. I'm dead, but I'll come back. I mean, you could do a lot with Ben Solo's character. You could give him a backstory. You could give him a young Ben Skywalker story with being trained by Luke and his turn and the Knights of Ren and stuff. And that, I mean, people would love to see that. If you made a Ben Solo show or a Knights of Ren show with Kylo Ren as the lead, people would definitely flock to watch that. But will they bring him back if they make a 10, 11, 12 trilogy? Will they bring Ben Solo's character back to life? How many times in Star Wars are we going to go through this? How many characters are going to die and then they're going to say, oh no, people love that character, so we're going to bring them back? Happened with Boba Fett. We're seeing it right now, although they're doing that one correctly. Happened with Darth Maul. Again, they did it correctly. They brought him back in the Clone Wars, and now he's one of the most beloved characters ever. They did it with Palpatine. Palpatine is the one that many people seem to have a problem with. They brought him back, and it just didn't seem right. He wasn't introduced in the first of the sequel trilogy, nor the second. He was in the third and last film. They brought him back, and they killed him all in 2 hours. A lot of people have shaky opinions about Palpatine's return, but what would we think about a Ben Solo return? We got 3 episodes of Ben Solo. We'll probably get more in this Mando timeline towards the end of it if we do get a Luke and maybe even a young Ben Solo. How would we feel about him coming back? What if Rey in the Force dyad? We already saw Ben bring Rey back. Why can't Rey bring Ben back? That's easy for you to say. Why can't Rey bring Ben back? But if they do make a 10, 11, 12, I really hope that they will do it correctly, because a lot of people will have their suspicions. Obviously, everybody will go watch it because it's Star Wars, and how can you not go watch Star Wars? But people are going to come in. A lot of people went into The Force Awakens very excited about The Force Awakens. A lot of people are going to come into these movies saying, I don't expect much, and I expect them to be bad. So if they come out and knock it out of the park, it will be a huge win for Disney and a huge win for Star Wars fans. But then again, we talked about this weeks ago when Kathleen Kennedy and Daisy Ridley had lunch together, and we were like, what's going on? Is Rey coming back? What's going on? Rey could be coming back. Sequels could be coming back. We could have a Rey training Jedi in a Jedi Temple show. We could be getting a whole trilogy following Rey training Jedi. Oscar Isaac, who's even going to be the Moon Knight in Marvel now, has said that he's wanted to come back. So now we have Rey sitting down with Kathleen Kennedy for lunch. We've had Adam Driver saying, I want to come back. We've had Oscar Isaac saying, I want to come back. And now it's just John Boyega. He's probably what I think would be a cool new main character, because he's a Force stormtrooper user Jedi. That would be pretty sick. But nothing from him. Nothing. He was the one guy who kind of just said, I don't want to do Star Wars anymore by the end of the sequel trilogy. If you can bring back John and his character of Finn, you can bring back a lot of fans, because a lot of fans loved that character. Although the whole sequel trilogy was just going, Rey! People liked his character. They wished that he had more character growth, and I think that a whole nother sequel would be huge for him. Even just a Finn show, maybe even, of just his backstory and what happens after Rise, on if he gets trained with Rey or what he does after that. Finn's was a character that needed more time. I honestly believe that. And of course, a lot of people didn't like the sequel, so making more sequels might make a lot of fans angry, but they made all these characters, Rey, Kylo, Finn, Rose, Poe Dameron, all these characters that have a future in Star Wars. They didn't die. They have futures in Star Wars. So they didn't just make these characters to just say, oh, we're going to make 3 movies with them. It wasn't like the original trilogy. They had intentions to make a sequel trilogy even back then. When they made the characters of Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Leia, they wanted to finish those characters' story arcs. Even George Lucas, he said there's definitely going to be a sequel. Definitely going to be a sequel. He denied it for a while, but there was always going to be a sequel trilogy. They did it. Not a lot of people liked it, but that doesn't mean that these new characters in Rey, Poe, Finn, Rose, and even Kylo Ren can't be built upon. We don't just want to see them for 3 episodes. 3 episodes, yeah. We don't want to see them for 3 episodes. We want to see them for series. We want to see them for multiple trilogies. We want to see them for a long time. Now, the sequel trilogy. Obviously, very mixed opinions on the sequel trilogy. A lot of people hated it. A lot of people loved it. Whatever. These characters in Rey and Finn and Poe and Rose and even Kylo Ren, their stories don't end here. Especially if you bring back Kylo Ren. Their stories don't end here. Rey's going to go on, hopefully make a Jedi Temple, maybe even train Finn. We want to see those stories. These characters, their stories aren't over yet. So maybe even a 10, 11, 12, or even just shows. You give us a Finn show, you give us a Rey show. Anything is good. And even for people who don't like the sequel trilogy, you have the Mando timeline right now. So the sequel trilogy is really only one bad year if you look at it. From the beginning of Force Awakens to the end of Rise of Skywalker, it's about 1.5 years. So you got Grogu, you got Mando, you got Boba Fett, you got Ahsoka. You can bring in all these characters a year later after Rise, and they can all meet up together. Who would be opposed to a 10, 11, 12 with Rey training Grogu and Finn? So would you want to see more sequels? Would you want to see more of these sequel characters in Rey, Finn, Poe, Rose, all of them? And would you want to see Grogu meet up with them? Again, it was only a year between The Force Awakens and Rise of Skywalker. So bringing Grogu in, and he just wasn't there for that 1 year, isn't a long shot. You can bring in Grogu, you can even bring in Ahsoka, if she's still alive. Bring in Mando, you can bring in Boba Fett, if he's still alive. All these characters can still be brought in. It was just 1 year. So these characters missing out on 1 year is not the biggest deal. I mean, they could be out on a different mission, doing something else, fighting Thrawn, doing whatever. You could bring in all these characters after the fact and say, hey, they were here the whole time, but they were doing something else in the galaxy, couldn't really fight with Palpatine or talk with Luke Skywalker at the moment, so they were out fighting somewhere else. So then you could bring in all these characters from the Mando timeline in the sequel trilogy and be like, hey, look, boom, best of both worlds. Now you got both of your favorite characters in a new trilogy, 10, 11, 12, or in a new TV show. Rey TV show, Finn TV show, whatever. I hope it's a trilogy, honestly. Imagine Rey training Finn and Grogu with Mando there, and maybe even Boba Fett, and Thrawn is a big bad guy, or whatever. Tell me in the comments what you think below. Do you want to see more of these sequel characters? Do you want to see them team up with Grogu and Mando and all these other people? And do you think that it's even possible? Do you think that this is even possible that they could say, we're bringing back the sequels? Smash that like button if you like this video, hit subscribe and hit that bell because we got videos coming out all throughout the week. Everybody loves Star Wars Planets on Fridays, but we got videos coming out all throughout the week. And once it hits December 29th when Book of Boba Fett starts, it's going to be non-stop Star Wars all the time because then we got Obi-Wan, then we got Andor, then we got Boba Fett, then we got Ahsoka show, and then we got this new trilogy. And we got other trilogies. We got Old Republic, we got New Republic. Star Wars never stops, so don't forget to hit that subscribe and hit that bell because I'll bring it all to you. Bring it all to you, right in front of you in this screen. So smash that like button, hit subscribe, and hit that bell. And may the Force be with you. Always.